All right, peace, 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 family. It's Kofi Piesie research team. It's your brother T'Challa, brother Sutek. He stepped away for a minute, but wanted to touch on some issues, um, mainly some things that I put at the forefront of my mind when I wake up and get into the studies. You know, just some things that's been on my mind and things that's happening in the news, political moves that's happening. It's just it's sad, really. All right, peace, Chauncey Moore. Sister LaDonna, peace, peace. Yeah, family, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Get the views up, get the likes up, get some more people in the building. But we're gonna go in on a few issues. Um, this was kind of disturbing to me when I heard about this, and so I felt like it was a need to talk about it. And we see people coming in. Oh, peace, bro. I didn't even see you come back in.
Yeah, man. Share life y'all need, man. Peace to the family. Peace to everybody in the chat. Sister Althea, Brother Robert, Enigma, Sister LaDonna, Chauncey. All y'all, man. Peace. Appreciate y'all for coming through. We need a favor. We need you to stop, share this video, share this show to 5 groups, and come back to us, man. That's what we need y'all to do. I'm unable to share the show at the moment, so we need y'all help. We need y'all to share the show to at least 5 groups, and make sure you like the show as well, man. We about to go in. My brother T'Challa about to get in on this video, and we gonna see what his heads or what his goes to. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man.
All right, um, now this, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do while I'm gonna just pull it up, the link, and put a link in there that people can check it out and see what's going on with that. I don't want to play the brother's content because he has a pretty big channel, and I don't want to get a strike on Kofi Piesie research team playing somebody else's, you know. But we're gonna go in on what it's talking about. Um, and this something in the black community, period, as far as like slavery. And you know, people ask the question, well, is slavery really still going on? You know what I mean? Like we working jobs and we live, we going through our hardships, but you know what I'm saying? Like we people say that, we doing pretty good compared to where we were. Okay, I agree. Um, but then Dante Wright just happened. You see what I'm saying? And it's the fact of every time you turn around, if it don't make the news, you hear about it in the neighborhood. Chances are you knowing what's going on. You done lived long enough by 2021. You done seen a few people take their last breath. And to add to that, we have this conversation about slavery. Is it really, is it still active anywhere in the world today? Do we have evidence of slavery still going on? I know we in the black community and the conscious community, we say that a lot. You know, they still oppressing us. The system is still in place. Slavery never really ended. What do we mean by that when we say that? Are we being factual, or are we speaking out the side of our necks when we say slavery has never really ended? Right? And I would love for my computer to pull up uh, my other tab so that I can put the link in here for the video. So everybody that's listening, peace, peace, peace. We coming
Oh
in the
no,
building.
break
I'm
out.
gonna say slavery still exists. 20. If you think slavery is still going on in any capacity, put a 1 in the chat. I ain't seen you in a while. Peace, 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 Coach, Sister Althea, LaDonna. I'm saying peace to you too, Robert Rand. Yeah, put a 1 in the chat, family, if you feel like slavery is still going on in any capacity. And I know it's a delay, so we're gonna. What happened? What'd you say, Sutek?
Nah, yeah, it started breaking out for a minute, but you good now. Yeah, we got
Okay.
the ones coming in.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I know it's a delay, so you know what I'm saying. I just know that it was tripping last time. I just updated the computer too, which is what was taking so long. What you think, bro? On that question?
Does slavery still exist today?
Right.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, no doubt. You can look to, if you want to be technical, you can look to the prison system in America. Um, if you wanna be like specific or like specific to physical uh, chattel slavery, we can look to North Africa. Yeah, it's still going on today. It never stopped. It supposedly was abolished in certain parts of North Africa in the 1960s and 1981. But they'll be apologists about it. But when you look to the ground, you can see what's actually going on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's no doubt that it still exists today.
Hmm. Okay. And you say, have we defined slavery for this conference? That's what I think. That's what he was just doing. So those are the forms of slavery. As you mentioned, definitely with the prison system. Um, this is absolutely ridiculous all the way around the board. Um, the whole course, like there's corruption, period, within, you know what I mean, what makes up, like, yes, we live in America and we're privileged and we don't have to worry about a lot, but we still got to worry about a lot. Um, like, you know what I mean? Like even if you catch me with a little work on me, say I do have a warrant or two. Um, okay. You know, a lot of times in situations we find ourselves even still, you know what I'm saying, crying out for help, needing some help, and we get kneeled on the neck by several people for several minutes. You know what I'm saying? And a couple of dollars of a lawsuit payout ain't gonna bring it back, but and it ain't gonna ease. It really don't do nothing. It's like, well, okay, this is just giving you what we consider we just continue as business as usual. Like this ain't a business transaction. You know what I'm saying? A loved one is taken. Like, you know, and so I'm reading some of the comments in the chat. Right. Racism, white supremacy, control, the fear, access. Right. Have we defined I read that one. Indoctrination leads to mental enslavement. Okay. So the indoctrination of never even really viewing enough of you on a TV screen. Appreciate that, brother Sutek, because I was trying to load it up, but I think that was causing me to cut out too. I'm on my Wi-Fi as well, and my Wi-Fi these days everybody uses it, so um, definitely gonna be looking into getting a router and an Ethernet cable myself of some sort. Um, but yeah, man, it's right, right. Losing a choice, all that kind of stuff. Um, because let me ask you this, because it's about like freedom, and then we're gonna get to the video in a second. But okay, so like freedom, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you right now you can go to the store, you can buy you something to drink, buy you something to eat, and you can go back home. You can come back, hop back in the hangout, and you chilling.
Right.
Um, but by that same token, as a man who looks like you, right? Who looks like me, because when I see you, I see myself. We got the same hairstyle, even like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the same things, extracurricular activities, and you know what I'm saying. And then we enter the same thing when it comes to this side of Africa. Our agendas align for the most part.
Right.
And anything outside of that, frankly, really ain't none of my damn business. I don't give a damn because at the end of the day, walking to that restaurant to get you something to eat could be your last trip. Any given
Exactly.
moment. And I don't like when people move the conversation when they jump and say, "Oh, well, that can be anywhere in the world." We're not talking about anywhere in the world. We being specific, dealing with our experiences here in America and what we go through as Africans in America. Zane Peace, he say what now? Talking about the title. Yeah, that's so yeah, I've been watching a lot of SNL lately. And boy, them skits when Ken do the ooh wee, what's up with that? Them skits is man, had me crying laughing. And I thought it fit the title for the video because in the video, so let's get to it. Like we got students right now in America, this is what's going on. So I don't jump all over the world and what could be going on in other places. We're talking about what's going on with us, our babies. Right now in America, in the school, students were communicating via social media and somehow or another within this social media platform, they decide to create this little game. And out of all the games that they can decide to create right now in 2021, they decide to create a game that puts a price, a monetary value. You know what I'm saying? Dead presidents, dead white men from the era that got us over here in the first place. You're gonna say that a black child is worth X amount of those. Oh yeah, it's going down. So kids are learning not only to be just all multiculturalist accepting and just trying to be confusing with the identity, because there's certain conversations kids don't need to be having at certain ages. But now we in the school via social media, a platform that you use to have fun and interact and be and keep in touch with your friends and family and people. With these same black kids that you sit next to in class, oh yeah, he worth about $50. Oh yeah, he worth about $100, about $275. And if you watch the video, you will see that within the video, the price ranges from $1 even. That you're gonna say a human's life is worth $1. Right? So we way back there. Somebody said we went backwards. We took a big step backwards with this one. A real big step backwards, yo. So let me get this straight. Right now, 2021, with all of the Obama done been president, Michelle done been first lady, we done had a black family all up in the White House. Since they want to play the political game. And we sitting here in the modern era and we got things like this going on. And so it's not just once again, like, you know, in the black community, we know that there's a lot of pseudo claims that just permeate, especially within social media on these platforms, how we all interact, the world that we live in. This is the world that we have, where we interact with y'all via chat, y'all interact with us via the video, information, books. That's how we're communicating. It's a world. We're exchanging information. And within this world, it's a lot of false things going around. It's a lot of interweaving of truth with a whole lot of fluff. But this speaks volumes to when the truth is being told, when we say, no, slavery hasn't went anywhere. No, the ideology of being superior to another human being definitely hasn't went anywhere. Like myself included, we all get to the point where in a conversation with somebody, we feel like that person is beneath us when they're not agreeing with us or when we feel like we know more. We have to check our egos. Go back to them maxims of Ptah instructions. We gotta, you know what I'm saying, truthfully live that when it counts the most. So students selling other students within social media, all on Snapchat, saying, hey, yeah, my friend, he worth about $1.50. Oh yeah, she worth about, you know. I mean, what y'all? I mean, what? I see some of the comments. I see you. I see you. Obamas were definitely puppets, right? Every president's the puppet. You know, another face moved in. We domesticated each other before pets. I agree with that. What you think, Sutek?
I think that it just shows that racism, white supremacy is still alive and thriving. These is kids. You know what I'm saying? Um, they are the future of this nation. When you look at these kids, you're looking at the future of the nation. I'm talking about all kids. So it's just a reminder to me that shit ain't. I mean, it ain't going nowhere. Not right now. It ain't. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at the next generation. This is where we should expect to see. So it's it's something sinister because that type of behavior has to be taught or learned from somewhere. So either they picking it up from the society that they live in, or they being taught by the people, the elders that they look up to, or the elders that they look up to. So I mean that's basically what it says to me. Like shit still going on, shit still happening. Shit ain't changed. We still gotta say that our lives matter. Why the hell should we be having to tell that to anybody? I mean, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I agree, and I think I'm rereading some of the comments. Peace to everybody coming in. I've seen a few couple of names. Who's this? Sister Safa, peace to you. I see our brother Shawn had came through. I don't know if he's still in the building. Um, so right, it's talk. Right. So Zane was saying he was saying we domesticate each other before pets. I told him that I agree. And I'm sitting here thinking about it, listening to you talk, and I'm looking at it, and you like, and when you mention the word sinister, that's when it clicked for me. Because if you think about what he said, we domesticated each other before pets. What is domestication? It's when you take an animal, we're still animals scientifically. Like, we don't need to go through that conversation. We know that we're mammals, we're primates, evolution all day long. Miss me with the extra, right? So we know that as animals, we behaved not in the way that we behave like today. We have these primal urges and instincts, right? That we have to kind of tame and master to a degree so that we can not walk around biting and scratching and punching and kicking and clawing at each other like just crazies or like animals trying to fight for their life. Like we can be around each other and get along. We don't have to fight for food sources and shelter. We can work together to a degree on a small scale and develop things, right? With all of that said, we still have war, violence, all the crime, everything that comes with being alive. But there's a certain level of, you know, there's a way we behave that does separate us from other animals in nature. So all of this process, when you say we domesticated each other, we had to teach each other. Because when you treat a person a certain way, you teaching them how you want to be treated. Like you really showing them what you okay with. You really showing them what kind of life you about. You know what I'm saying? So if you walk around, jab, snaps, jerky at everybody, attitude all the time, then you really showing that that's what you kind of used to, and that's just with how you prefer to communicate. And you know, so when we show each other how not to act like we got to fight each other over a pile of nuts or berries that we come across, or if we just look up and see that there's a whole, a field of bushes and berries and nuts and things and that of that nature. Like there's food sources around, there's resources around, there's a way to do it without killing each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mindless, just zombies, just doing what we doing. With all of that said, have we really even fully domesticated each other when we can still, as a human being, practice said sinister act of creating a social construct that is fake, a figment of someone's imagination, and you react to a thought, an opinion that this shade of skin is better, an opinion that these people, these Anglos and these Saxons, when they join together, become the ultimate superior race, like a fucking Super Saiyan. Excuse my language, but it makes me angry that it's like it's this made up game that we playing, like these characters in this story that exist, that these supernatural Zeuses and everybody else that's just so damn superior. I don't understand why we have to continue to mimic the behavior and teach it. So if it existed back then, like you said, who's teaching it now? There's plenty of you can go in society, you can go out and you can visit a place and you can see racism for yourself. But then you also know that just like in our households, we educating our babies about history and what has gone how have we gotten here? Okay, what do you think they're doing to their children? They're telling their children the same thing. Hey, look, your grandfather, yep, he owned these people. He owned these people. He had this many plantations and such and such, and this and that and the other. Because that's one of the first questions. They know that we know that black people are, definitely the bottom minority or whatever. So, okay, where did they come from in this country? How come it's only so many of them? That's what they're asking. Where did they come from? And how come how come everybody wants to do their dances? How come we like to listen to their music? How come we like to, get a scholarship to college to dance and hip hop major dance and that, in all the assemblies and performances? Because Paul Mooney was right on time. And for the record, I'm not one of those African American men that think that no other quote unquote variation, because there is no such thing as race, but we having a conversation, right? But no other variation of human that we will call Indian, Asian, or anything, white, whatever, that they can't do anything that I can do. Because at the end of the day, we're literally variations of the same species. Variation don't mean that we're different in the sense that we can't like reproduce because we can damn sure reproduce. We're just a variation. Okay. But what I will say is that people that have the stock of the oldest variation seem to get treated like the stepchild of the world, the kid with the quote unquote special needs, learning disability, however they label us, whether it's true or not, however they go about it with their standards, right? Treat them like oh yeah, we need to go ahead and put him on this bus. That's how we get treated. So our babies can be at school having these students that they have to sit next to and they're competing with the grades and the test scores and the percentages and what percentage of your class got this grade point average, what percentage of the class got that grade point average. And we sit next to these same kids taking the same test, learning from the same teacher, parents paying the same water bills, still paying the same everything the same. You pay the same taxes to the same IRS and try to get away with it if you want to. They gonna come send you a letter just like they send everybody else. Your next direct deposit will not come through. Black, white, green, purple, don't matter. And we got you know what I'm saying? We got this inside, got to be the butt of the joke. They sitting there laughing in class, on the bus stop on the way home. This is the type of stuff that when I do my outreach programs in the communities, these kids ask me about this. They be like, "Yo, T'Challa, how you feel about this?" You know what I'm saying? When the Sandra Bland's is going on, when the George Floyd's, the Breonna Taylor's is going on, when all of this stuff is going on, they asking, "How you feel about this?" Because we talk in the community, right? It's like, Joe, like I just left that bus stop. That could have been me. Or man, I just, it's sad. Peace to everybody coming in. Let me see. Let me catch up with some of the comments. I'm late being sold online. In what way? Um, like this is the stock market in the old days. Like, yeah, you can have this uh black person for this amount. Yep, slavery. Talking about putting the price. Another thing in the video too, what got me is they sitting there. The lowest price go to the one that you don't like how their hairstyle was. So if you got a natural, if you got locks, dreads, whatever you want to call it, if you got the little sponge out, whatever you rocking, fade, clean, waves, whatever, man, you doing the damn thing. You live it. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't like it, they're that's when you get the low score, I guess. So it's almost like you'll turn around and you'll make up a game on a social media app to poke fun at something that good and hell well you about to go make a TikTok video when you get out of school, dancing to something that has some type of roots to a black person having something to do with its creation. I'm not gonna say that black people create every single dance that ever comes out that everybody like to do, but let's not play the game, family. We know good and well that hip hop, R&B, neo soul got the country and the world moving. We know that. I mean, you could roll down the street with some Aretha banging right now. And they gonna be like, "Oh yeah, there we go." Just 99.99%. Uh-huh. Do you think we have the power to do anything about this? Well, it's not that it's an irreversible problem, right? It's not that there is no way that there's a reality where it doesn't exist. Of course, there's a way for everything to be dismantled. And all kingdoms, from what we've seen throughout history, they have their rise and their fall, don't they? Sutek, what you got, man?
Nah, man. I would say making our educational, making our schools, our colleges more pristine, uh, making them valuable to us, so we wouldn't have to worry about going to these quote unquote white schools to uh, get a good education or to uh, make those type of connections that you're gonna need in the real world once you get out of school. But the reality of it is, man, you gonna deal with this. Whether you deal with it at a young age in school, whether you deal with it as a teen, fresh out of school, in college, you gonna deal with it. Later on down the line in your life, it is no way to be a black man in America right now and to escape racism. Like you said, we're getting it from all sides. So it don't necessarily gotta be from white people. You know what I'm saying? It's that's a tough one. That's a tough one because I'm a person about getting the problem at the root. So I think that question deserves more than a minute or two explanation. I think that question deserves conversations. We got to start having conversations, and then not only having conversations, but actually making this practical, putting it into action. You know what I'm saying? We do a lot of talking, but I respect the people, those that are putting plans into action, even if we don't agree on some type of historical or religious standpoint, whatever the case may be. I respect those people putting plans into action because we've been talking about a lot of stuff for a long time, and something got to pop. But that's a question that deserves a conversation, like ATL said, an analysis.
Right. And right, a lot of us aren't ready, and it can be done. And so here's how I look at it. Um, Armor Raw Squad and affiliate families. Shout out to all of them, because I can truly say that, you know, warriors only get better by staying in the ring. Players only get better by staying in the game. If you sit on a bench for 3/4 of your career, I mean, damn, you didn't get really to use your talents and your gifts. You went to games, showed up at games, went to all the practices, and you really didn't get much playing time. So we have to stay amongst those that help us grow, and we can see the growth within us. So part of the answer to that question is Amara Squad and affiliate families that push forward proper research methodology, scientific literacy, right? Everything that we all talk about all the time, being 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 about us, you know, not putting us on a supernatural pedestal that we got superpowers, but being about us, caring. Um, it's a lot of components to that, moving parts. Producing publications, being connected with powerful people here in the US that connect us to things and connections and powerful people that's across the Atlantic to the motherland, getting our products there, building, creating relationships and growing with them, creating a company with them, making other moves with Kofi Pop. Like so things are, because we're in the existence and we're moving forward. And we're in the now, we're in the verb, we're doing it, we're living. So we're doing the verb. So we're actively doing something about it, because we're not sitting here pushing it, backwards. Like, we're not actively, those of us who are, competent, who don't participate in this kind of foolishness. Because you got a lot of us that look like us, and they probably got the same DNA when it comes to on paper, but they dog sure don't act like us. Probably think it's funny, probably laugh it off when they're approached about it. I mean, the fact that I could still have a conversation on the job about my hairstyle as a person that doesn't come from the stock and the likes of anything that you would consider quote unquote European, like in terms of majority of my DNA, yeah, I'm not a white man. I'm not a Mexican man, I'm not any other man but what I am. And I can only speak to my experience. I know a lot of us share a lot of the things with, and a lot of us are mixed and a lot of us are everything. So you wherever it fits, that part fits you, yeah, because you'll get persecuted too. Be mixed with all of the three different things and turn around and have some kinky curly hair. Light complexion and not beautiful light complexion, beautiful dark complexion, beautiful caramel complexion, whatever kind of complexion has got a little bit more mocha than what they when they recognize that, yeah, you're gonna get that subject treatment. You can get that pull over. You can get that, oh, let me do it because just look at the neighborhood that we in anyway. Oh yeah, let me well, even if we're not in that kind of neighborhood, well, what are you doing in this neighborhood? You could live in that neighborhood. Didn't that black and Latino soldier just get maced or something like that? A sergeant in the military, some type of like I don't know his rank, but man, that woman, she man, like what you doing? Like I this it's just like you said, Sute, it's gonna take multiple conversations while we're doing what we're doing. Because what we're doing is that like you said, we talk about the school system, then what are we doing about it? Well, I mean we shit, you know, links in the description. Um and more on the way. Um, I feel like so now let's move to this part of the conversation. So part of the asking about the solutions, right? So what do we do about things like that? This kind of app and this kind of social behavior that exists. What do you tell your child? You know, um, hey, so you went to school today and some kids was saying that you was worth $75 on some game on Snapchat, huh? Want to talk about like the adding to the mental health crisis that we got going on in the black community? Like psychologically, what kind of impact that has on our babies. So we got to start thinking about what mental health looks like in the home. I'm not trying to be detailed about what we all should be doing. That's not the conversation. What I'm saying is having the conversation of being concerned and not necessarily you don't even have to use the phrase mental health. You could just really sit down, probably like most of you do now. I'm sure I'm not going to put on you that you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here and act like there's any bad parents in the chat, like I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying. We all human beings, so we raising our kids and we talking to them, we concerned. You asking the questions because that's what I got when I was coming up. Fortunate with two sets of parents I had, of being able to ask those questions and be concerned instead of the child is wrong because they come home reacting to the world that they just was smothered with. Like they literally got the yuck juice of the negativity of the world the moment they come through the door. Or the moment you come through the door, you get home from work or whatever, and they've been home doing homework or whatever, and it's like you see them and they still got that ugh on them. It's like, okay, wait, hold on, maybe go take a shower real quick. We get some dinner ready, right? Go take a shower. We're gonna have some dinner, and we're gonna relax for a minute. Don't jump right into stuff like and pour the gasoline on the fire. Like let it cool, let it simmer down a little bit. Take a shower, get you some food, look crazy at the four walls. Maybe you know what I'm saying. You're on your phone, social media. Find a clip to laugh at, and you know what I'm saying. Get some of those positive emotions, that chemical and balance restored. Get some going, right? Shift those toxins that you pouring out from being aggressive and that adrenaline flowing from being pissed off, because you got to chemically deal with yourself too. Can't just stay in that enraged, pissed off state and really kind of address some issues and really talk to one another. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Because what we'll do is we'll go through all this oppression and persecution, racism, and we'll grow up and we'll be right here playing the light skin, dark skin game. We'll be right here playing the it's all about me game because that's what we learned through all of the violence, through all of the systematic oppression, through all of the everything. We learned that it's just I'm just gonna take care of me. Mm, mm, mm. Well, I will agree with you there, Shawn. A lot of black folks are pseudo. Have a conversation, define, and be clear what a healthy society looks like. Right, right, exactly. And then so right, so the pseudoisms really play a big part in that too, because part of that is like me and my girl was watching a show. What's the show with Jamie Foxx? Um, forget the name of it, but anyway, and there was an episode where he was trying to get his daughter to come back to church or whatever, and it's a Christian narrative, still a funny show, still Jamie Foxx, still laugh your butt off, whatever if you like Jamie Foxx, if not, whatever. But the point is, it's however they're trying to push the narrative. He was trying to get his daughter back from a state of crisis. She's mentally breaking down because she lost her mother, and so it's a Christian show, so her thing is God. So she's questioning God. Why did God take, her mother away from her? And so, however they deal with the problem, right? It's the issue of black people can't deal with mentally their problems. And truthfully, with that, outside of the church, within the church, whatever, because the answer within the church is just pray, talk to God, talk to your pastor, pray, talk to God, talk to your pastor, Of course, you're encouraged to read your Bible, but we know what happens with that. So what I'm saying is, take it off religion. We know that 99.999% of us be like, man, ain't that mental health stuff. You know that. We shy away from it. But you know what I'm saying? We need to address something. Even just the reaction to the corrupt world that we're living in. Like we need to address the effects, the wear and tear, the miles that we put on the mind. The mind got a lot of miles, yo. Like all while you sleep, your crazy dreams, every dream that you have, this miles. You see what I'm saying? That continue to tick. Miles on the mind. And left unaddressed will continue to promote the ignorance. Will continue. Because that's what we want to gravitate to. What's the acceptable punishment for creating such an app and a game to just, psychologically completely enrage, infuriate, destroy, and just assassinate any type of self-esteem of anybody that grows up in that reality of like, hey, so this is what y'all doing? This is worldwide now. Everybody know about this. It's on the internet. Oh, y'all still over there tweaking? You got the kids now making a joke out of it, like it's funny, like it's something cool. So when we say that, people will smile through the pictures of the lynches and the hangings, yeah, we pull that right up. We could also pull this up. It's digital now. You just that bold with it. Yeah. And I think too, part of the solution is that having the whole culture conversation, like defining, continuing to define what African American culture is. It's a it's a multitude of things because we're a multitude of people. Um, we were in West Africa, and now we definitely are so here. Like we've become super duper individualistic. You know what I mean? Like we really focus on that. Like it's me. Once again, the selfishness. Like we'll sell each other out. You know, instead of trying to save two or three, we'll save ourselves. And like we it's a lot of that going on. So we're very individual. Individualism is real in our community. You know what I'm saying? So you know, um, and I agree, right, Zane? We should be the children should be aware of things that could relate to child trafficking because that right. So you're talking about selling kids, basically, which is human trafficking doesn't go nowhere. It just hasn't. It's just you. And so if kids can grow up in a world in today where we all would you'll hear so many people talk about how far we've come from slavery. Like that conversation, that sentence is no longer a sentence you could really kind of because you got kids that just heard that, you know what I'm saying? The person they go to lunch with every day, person roll call, they said they fire their name right behind them every day in class, put a price tag on their head. Yeah, being African is a liability. I definitely see ways that society pushes individualism. Absolutely. To do a show for kids for this, so we can put them online and listen. Something to think about. I have to pitch to the brothers. Yeah.
So where is the Asian outrage in this situation? We are among a time of the Stop the Asian Hate movement. Meanwhile, we have been a group of people that's been hated on since the dawn of civilization. We don't get this outrage. It's people that's done been taken in for even saying what was perceived as a racial slur towards the Asian American. We got kids trying to auction off our babies. Where's the outrage? And this is my point. I don't want to get too much off the subject, but this is my point of why I say that I'm not, Asian hate. I don't hate Asians. I hate oppressors. So my thing is though, I'm not. That's not my business. I'm not getting in that. Y'all have a very anti-black culture from time immemorial up until today. Y'all have killed our babies. You know what I'm saying? It's even been situations that contributed greatly to certain riots. Now y'all want us to care, be concerned about what y'all going through. We still been going through this in America. We've been going through this since the day we stepped foot on this thing. Where is the outrage? You want concern from the black community? Where is the Asian outrage? That's my question.
Hmm. No, it's the Paul Mooney snot ball. We have no friends. Yeah. I myself, I don't have a problem with, look, man, I mean, I like life in general. Um, Many things in nature fascinate me. I like to study, I like to learn about different kind of people, different kind of cultures, different kind of life forms, different kind of behavior from the micro to the macro, whatever. I like it all. Um, and I'm anti anything that's anti life. Like, to have this idea to kill the root of a tree, symbolically talking about us as African stock globally. The ideology behind racism and white supremacy is to the root of the tree is so rotten and evil that it produced this evil kind of core tree. But somewhere up on the branches, we emerge and we are pure. But we have to cut out the rest of the rotten root and anything in the tree trunk base that connects us to that rotten rooted core. That's what it symbolizes. And it's crazy. We know that it exists, so we do what we can, what we've been doing. You wake up every day, you do you know what I'm saying? You get you some knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You go to work, whatever you do, school, you know, and you continue to live your life. Continue to, I don't know, do an hour or so show on a topic such as this. Just to put it out there, I have a record to say, hey, we saw that. We saw that mess. And we definitely had something to say. Um, you know, because there's no hashtag movement across social media to say stop black auctions. We should hashtag that. You know what I'm saying? Stop auctioning our black babies. Is your baby worth $2.75? $2,000? How much is your baby worth? Since my baby's worth $1 because they didn't like their hairstyle. Huh. But when that hairstyle of that baby that you didn't like create a dance, you're gonna do the next TikTok off of it. You're gonna do the next Snapchat off of it. YouTube video. Get you a couple thousand more views and likes. Yeah. I'm speaking to when it comes down to that conversation. Outside of that, no. Man, look, you do whatever you want to do. Learn whatever dance, whatever music, whatever, man. Live your life. I know all kind of every kind of people that do every kind of thing. They come over to West African drum and dance. They bring some of their stuff, whatever. It ain't that. But when it comes to the issue of when we go to the same school, our kids go to the same school, and if you don't stand up and do nothing and say nothing about it, now we got a problem. Not a problem, but a problem. Okay? Because we supposed to be quote unquote, at least allied for the same cause. I appreciate your culture. You appreciate my culture. You bring some this and that and the other. We bring some of this, that, and the third. When our kids, so if your kids are participating in that and don't, or you know what I'm saying, not participating in that, but they don't stand up and say something, that's where the issues come between quote unquote minorities and issues within the community. To answer the question of where's the Asian standing up for Black justice, where's the whoever standing up for Black justice. We walk into class together, college students, but our little brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and goddaughters and whatnot go to them grammar schools. Some of them go to the same grammar schools, high schools, junior high schools. So if an app is created of to have a conversation about what we're worth, then what is just a conversation about, day to day when we're not around? That proves it. Because that the conversation has to exist before the app. So you so what else you saying? What else is it? And so that's why we fight so hard on calling ourselves African centered, in a sense of not trying to connect ourselves to anybody else's culture that practice any other thing. We're gonna be who we are with all of the fake hate. It's really all fake hate when you really get boiled down to it, because if we're so beneath you that you could put a price tag on it, why 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 you like why do you appreciate and why do you wanna try to do what we doing then? Why you wanna play this game? Why you even wanna learn drum and dance, hip hop, spinning on your head? I give it less than two pennies what you do with your life, bro. Live your best one. Cause I'm living mine. Like, who am I to tell you not to? Because that's racist to say that, oh, you shouldn't be doing hip hop dance because you're not African or African American. Is you silly? You like, come on, like, uh, you know, black people ain't the only ones that was standing on their head and flipping around too. So don't start that either. So it's like, but even appreciating hip hop, something that African Americans did create. Yeah, you can appreciate hip hop, but I want you to appreciate hip hop so bad that you come out breakdancing at a riot while y'all marching for Black justice. That's what I want to see. I want to see you spinning on your head all the things you learn in class and dancing at parties and growing up, doing all that. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that. Let's see what we got. Said, why imitate us? I mean, that's a question I guess you have to ask them. Our power derived from a strong culture. Power, the ability to define reality and stick to that definition in spite of the consequences. Also have others respond as it was their own. Do the African world people have that kind of power? Um, Collectively now, I would say we don't. Culture as an offensive and defensive weapon. True, true. Um, yeah, I don't know, Sutek, what you up to, man? You You gotta get up out of here? Because I mean, I'll go into that a little bit, but you know what I'm saying?
What happened?
No, I was saying if you Snowball brought up a good point too. Um and it kind of tie into what I was just reading, the comment, let me scroll up, what Richard White was talking about. But he was talking about we need to talk about culture as an offensive and defensive weapon. I was just saying, we at the hour mark, whatever, what your time was looking like if you was trying to get up off here or what.
Nah, you go ahead, go ahead. Shit ain't doing that right now.
Because I think that adds to the conversation about like what do we do about all this too? Because
Right.
like, and especially as a performing artist here in the city, Chicago, like, and being connected to that world, like what that's like for us. With we have to eat, we have to, you know what I'm saying, we have to try to, make a living. So we selling our culture? Well, again, like you can feel how you want to feel about this, but this is the truth. Like, yes, Africans are aware of people that want to say that they're beneath them. This is us globally, continent and everywhere in the world. We're aware of how people look at us trying to, they want to learn our culture and then they want to turn around and they want to do it. And then there's a good amount of them that would like to act like, you know, it's always been their thing, like the South Africans that try to act like because they went down there and with the things that they built and all of that, look at the times, look at what's going on in the world, that they want to try to act like that they're official Africans and and it's their land. And no, you got people who was living there. So I see that, I see the connection. um there's a other section of them that just truly genuinely appreciate, they happen to like I'm gonna give an example of my world, West African drum and dance. And they truly, like, they pay much, like their blood, sweat, and tears. They're the ones putting the artists up when they come in from out of town. They're paying for their room and board. They're getting them lunch, breakfast, dinner. They're organizing their classes, setting up the chairs, the tables. I've done it with them. Help bring Baba his lunch. Baba is from Senegal, coming over teaching a workshop, and is here for the weekend for a conference. We got an annual conference we're putting on, and we're hosting Baba being in town, performing with us and our conference, making sure he have his tea. If he does observe Ramadan, if he's Muslim, we're not going to fight him on that. We let him do what he do. But then he turns around and he plays a whole concert with us, traditional, all with the raffia. You know what I'm saying? All of that, like we getting it in culture, and we got everybody on stage, all kind of pitches, shades, mixed sexual orientations, ages. Yes, we do, because that's the community, that's the world.
Mm-hmm.
You can't escape that, right? So we have to be careful of not slipping into that mindset as Black people with, you know, you can't stand to see the world appreciate your culture. Like, anybody who does West African drum and dance ain't necessarily a culture vulture that's not quote unquote African American. But we do understand that if not them, yes, there is someone in their family, just like, I mean, because we're talking about the world, just like our family back in the day was owned by their family, right? So we understand that concept, but we don't have to. We will also keep pushing the issue if we come to the situation like you're a white person trying to play my African drum lineage, culture, music, and I don't want like we make it a thing instead of, hey, look, oh, you trying to learn how to play djembe, man, come on, check it out. We got three different, three basic sounds. You know what I'm saying? And from there we build. Like it's that, because that's the world we live in right now. Like we can't, like you can't survive without interacting with someone that don't look like you, bro. Like you just like, what are you doing? We're minorities in this country, for one, and two, this is the world. You have to deal with people that don't look like you, and they're gonna see what you do, and they're gonna think it's popping, because it is. So I want everybody to appreciate. I think everybody should at least one time in their life touch the damn drum. Just tap it, just to see. Because when you hit it, you're gonna be like, wow, my hand actually made that sound. Damn. Let me hit it again. And then you're gonna be like, oh snap, if I move my hand like this and I do it like this, oh, I make all these different sounds. Yeah. So there's a type of self-esteem and upliftment psychologically when we connect with something. You see what I'm saying? And other people connect with it too, because it's made from trees and animals and iron and rope and things that we find in nature, bro. The same nature that they live in. Nothing is outside of nature. So it exists. We exist. Other people exist. Come on, bro. They appreciate your culture, just like you appreciate their culture. You'll turn around and go get a gyro in 2 seconds. Order some pizza in a minute. Go get some tacos in a heartbeat. But they can't do African drum and dance. It ain't about imitating somebody. I love Spanish. So it's like, it's not about trying to take somebody's culture. It's an appreciation for it, and it's a sense of connection when it's genuine on that level. And part of that with this conversation is them speaking up with all of the injustices that's going on with us as a community. You can't be in my community learning about drum and dance and did not have nothing to say when it comes to these kind of things. No, I'm not saying that you need to just have the same opinion about everything, but what I'm saying is, if you don't see the BS that goes on and you just silent about it, okay, well then we need to talk about your involvement in the community. Because both things are true. Both things exist. You got people in your community that don't look like you, that, you know, and we can't get on the tip of acting like we so pro-black that we don't want to, I don't have no white friends. Okay, bro, then why you speaking English? Like you still dominated by the European worldview because it's a European language. No hocus pocus spooky ooky. It's just what it is. You speak a European language. So therefore, as pro-black as you want to be and not interact with any white people, any Mexican people, any Chinese people, well then, bro, you might as well put yourself in solitary confinement some damn where in a hole in the ground and push them daisies on up and call it one. You're gonna have a hard time. When I have to make a dollar, I have to make a dollar serving the community. I have to interact with the community, with the world, Craig, not just the city, the whole world. Every day I have to look over my shoulder, just like everybody else. Like, man, is that police really gonna bust that UE and pull me over? Every time you see police lights, you be like, man, what's going on? Like, I get a ticket in front of my house before I get another situation rectified where you can, get some type of justice going into somebody's courtroom without having to fear like, man, they gonna try to, throw me under the bus, and or just walk into the store getting your food, like I said earlier. Do you have to worry about having to enter all of that? Cause say they saw you over in some other neighborhood where a burglary just happened. Burglary the whole time, be somebody from somebody that they know, that look like them, that live in that neighborhood, and they went and they got, you know what I'm saying? They went and got out on them. Found out when they wasn't home. They had them in the house, had them over for a couple of family dinners, family friend in the neighborhood, whatever, whatever. They went on up in their crib and they took what they wanted to took, and that's it. Now you walk into the store and like man, it happens. What's not ball say? Just out there, she feeling it. The challenge is not in the selling our culture in the marketplace. It's not controlling of the cultural production, which starts with the babies. I agree. Culture as a defensive weapon from proper indoctrination would shield us from cultural imperialism, makes it difficult for foreign concepts to penetrate our thinking, which curtail certain acts. We can have a super deep convo on this matter. Yeah, we can because musically, actually, that exists with within djembe music. Like we have it. So learning djembe, you have to first of all, if you're a human being, you can learn how to play the instrument, and you can, you know what I'm saying? It's not some magical African American experience that only African Americans can do. You can be Japanese, Chinese, whatever, playing djembe, right? But what you must do is you must respect the language within the music. From what region? We playing jogbe? Okay, we playing jogbe like Mali style with the funky flavor, like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of a little, I call it like some. It reminds me of like old school LL Cool J, maybe even some Big Daddy Kane style, like hip hop, like straight hip hop, like, you know what I'm saying? Sugar Hill Gang, like old school, like funky hip hop. That's how djembe music from Mali, the flavor is. It's real, like, and it's old. This old music. It's 1,500-year-old music. So you want to talk about some old school and the beats. This is where the hip hop beats actually derive from, as Black people from these West African regions playing this music from West Africa, all up and down in the music, bro. And you have to respect the move, the cadence, the verse, right? All of that is in the music. You can get you man. We call it bars within djembe music. Like you be like, oh yeah, yeah, he spinning some bar. We hear what you're saying. You telling a story. You know what I'm saying? We lay the fabric of the music down, and you tell your story over the music. That's your solo improvisation. And if you don't speak the right from the right region, we're gonna know either you're unlearned from the moment you start to play your solo. You're either unlearned or you don't know enough. Because if we're gonna play jogbe with the Mali flavor, it's certain solo phrases you don't play. So there's a certain way you have to play djembe, whether you black, white, purple, stripe. You have to play with respect to what type of music you're playing to and what region of music. It's how we respect the diversity and the plethora and multitude of people within one region in West Africa. Right? So there's not one type of Nigeria. You don't just say Nigeria. No, the way they respect that, like, yeah, you might get a divination done over here, but you turn around and get another divination done a couple of miles down the road, you'd be like, oh, wait a minute. Look at these people's masquerades. Look at these people's this and that and the other and the beads and how they cook their fish and what they fish yassa coming over to Senegal off the coast. What your shrimp yassa tastes like. You know what I'm saying? What your fish yassa tastes like with the BSAP. You know what I mean? Like getting it in. We need to understand how we can implement that with the other side of that coin of who we are here in America that don't know nothing about the intricate in the world of djembe and West Africa and talking drum and Serb people. with the Katiro drums and the Sarbar drums, and we don't. Those of us that don't know nothing about that, we still have the other side of the coin. Still just as black with the same DNA, still just as hip hop, still as real as they come. And we have to figure out, okay, so right, so how do you not screw me on my record deal while I'm making this beautiful music that everybody want to hear? Richard Wright said, is it selfish to believe our classical culture, African traditional music and dance provide humankind a sense of humanity? Do we promote that? Huh. So we define humanity as music, dance, and our traditional, like the way we get down on the continent, way back when that's where we started. Yeah, because by the time you sitting here talking about you're making up quote unquote what we define and what we understand in the human mind as music, whatever word that is. If I call it Jogbe, if I call it, you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z's 444, if I call it whatever I call it, I think understanding traditional African drum and dance does give you a sense of humanity because it's about connecting to the earth and being connected to the beat of the earth and everything in it. Songs mimicking birds and their tunes, drums mimicking the powerful sounds in nature, the elephants charging through, the war drums, the everything, just everything. It's a vibe that's life for us. Like, yeah, I don't see like it's interesting when you study music because on a classical sense, like, don't get me wrong, music, there's beautiful music, right? And I love brass instruments. I love some of some all kind of different kind of instruments, but we know that I mean you playing 2K and you got Beethoven blasting. Well, I mean you're gonna get a certain vibe, like versus you got 2K going, you know what I'm saying, and you got your Kendrick Lamar blasting. Now you gonna dub somebody. Somebody getting dubbed in that game of basketball, blasting some Kendrick Lamar. Or some whoever your favorite rapper is. I know some people, whatever. Whoever your rapper, whoever's your guy, your girl, you know what I'm saying? Cardi B got bar, whoever. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate. You know what happens when you get your music going? It puts you in a vibe. That literally defines the human experience. Language itself is organized sound put together to a certain rhythm and cadence. If you say something a certain kind of way, they're gonna tell you to watch your tone. Say something another kind of way, you waking up 2 weeks later wondering what happened and your mama done told you to watch your tone. So we understand that everything is rhythm and song, all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah, we gotta I would like to see more artists not getting gypped out of their deals. I would like to see, so that becomes with financial literacy. We was just building with Satep yesterday about that.
Yeah, they got to go back to the independent route. It's you put you put more of your own money up. You're doing a lot of the leg work, but you're reaping a whole lot more of the benefits, and that's one less entity. that you have to answer to. So I mean, and I think that's is the way hip hop is now. Like it's more towards it's going more towards the independent route. A lot of these young brothers coming up now, man, are starting to realize that they can do this. They can do this on their own. Well, they might need some help with distribution, but other than that, like I can put my own money up. I'm already hot around my area. I can do a little leg work. You know what I'm saying? Get a street team together, and I can do this myself. And instead of getting 1 or 2 points off of each sale, which is 1 or 2%, I can get like 80 to 90% of whatever the cost of my records is. You see what I'm saying? Like, and cost of records, that's going in a whole nother place now because it's digital now. So it's a whole new game, man. It's a whole new game. I think the time is now. If you want to get in and you want to do something independent, the time is now. And it's so easy with technology too that anybody can do it. Like you can make you a whole project from the comfort of your own living room. Like I seen it happen. I seen it happen. So now's the time, man. Dealing with the music, now's the time that we have the most opportunity, as opposed to I say 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when everything was major label based. When you pretty much had to go, well, you didn't have to, but your chances were very slim unless you went to or through a major record label.
Yeah, man. And honestly, like living that life, even on a scale of like, being a professional musician, whether you famous or not or well known, like even on a small level, like my level in terms of how many people that have seen the companies I've, how many stages I've been on and things like that. Like you do enough shows and you be like, bro, I gotta make sure that whatever I gain has to be protected. Like you said, the independent route allows you to, you gonna hump for it, but that makes it like, okay, well, I know it's mine now. You can't take this, So it's an important thing, like, and that goes back to being connected to the community. Like we have to know that we don't have all the answers. Like I might be able to play the drums, but you might be better at advising me about what to do with my money. And we already have a relationship built. We're already in several public, we brothers, we on the same, you know what I'm saying? We for the same cause. We took up an oath. We pledging for this flying this same flag. Okay. Let me see what you got to say. Or like our brother Satep. That's really like Satep. I'm calling you Satep, but that, either way, with the moves and whatnot in terms of that note, like with the extra game. And it's just like each one of us brings something to the table. Then with the community, within the chat, people mention things in the chat. You'd be like, man, I never thought about that. Or man, just having these conversations in these shows and people being able to connect, hear ideas, what we think about this issue, what they think about the issue, what we think the solution is, what they think the solution is. See, we need to build that infrastructure. Now we know we have African people, global market to sell to. All right, like to continue to practice cooperative economics, quantum principle, right? We need that. Um, those are the kind of things that make like that's defining part of what our culture is. Part of our culture should be, well, as much as stuff you're gonna buy that ain't gonna be your own, as much Kofi Piesie research team, Mossi Warrior Clan, Niger Valley Civilization, whatever you don't have that you're not wearing on your backs. Make sure that at least one of them times out the couple months you go shopping, make sure you come through and you support some black business. You see what I'm saying? That's how you balance things out in terms of keeping the black economy circulating. You understand this things like, of course, you can get on Nike website right now and lose your whole mind. You're like, damn, I want every last one of these. Get on Adidas web, whatever you like to rock. You get on that website, you be like, oh my goodness, if only I had, right? And that's what you think because you don't have it. And then it's like, if you were to have it, you'd be like, nah, bro, I'm trying to like get this other house, move over here, make sure that my kids gonna be going to this school, talk to this person. Like you don't have different priorities if you're an adult about yours. But like it's gonna be a different conversation, man. We need to get out of that too. Speaking to the not circulating the dollar in the black community enough. Um, yeah, if we can make music and produce and engineer and create whole projects and package it and everything and have it ready to go, yeah, sure can. It's you know, say music videos seem to have disappeared. Yeah, or they've gotten to the quality of like it's so like it's not even music videos no more. Like it's somebody, just a bunch of people bouncing around in somebody's room or their house or an apartment or something, whatever house they rented out, be Airbnb. They shot their little music video. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna drag the show out, man. Just wanted to speak on that issue and raise that awareness, especially right behind this Stop Asian Hate movement. Yes, I agree. Stop Asian hate, stop the white hate, black hate, brown hate, blue hate, red hate. But it does start with stopping black hate. Stop the black auctions. Bring the Asian outrage, the white outrage, the brown outrage, the blue outrage for black injustice. Want to be a part of our communities? You want to be down? You want us to have relationships? You want us to be social creatures and interact with each other like we're supposed to, even though we're different variations? Okay. We need a full commitment, because it's going to take the world to change the world. Black people can't change the world by ourselves. We're too busy fighting the supremacy. So we need the help when it matters, when it counts. That's real. Don't how you doing, smile in my face. Make sure you understand that when things like this is going on, yeah, we need your outrage. Anybody got any questions in the chat? Maybe ideas for, leave your comments for, next time. We'll got to get better about going back and reviewing some of the comments as of late. But if you got any questions, comments, other things that come to your mind, drop them in the chat. And we like to thank y'all for coming through because, like, for real, like we really this is the answer to the solutions. This is part of it, I should say. It's not the answer, but this is part of it. Um, Continuing to educate the beautiful community that we have and moving forward. You know, like the show, share the show, and definitely make sure you show us some support. And we will be in touch with more news later as it comes. But we got y'all, family. We got stuff on the way. On that note, oh yeah, Sutek, are you Are you able to play us out? Because you know how my thing be breaking up.
Yeah. I'll play us out. Make sure y'all like the show. Those who haven't on the way out, make sure y'all share the show to promote, continue to promoting these conversations. We appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Show us some love and support. We got publications. We got a clothing brand and a clothing line that's getting more and more products by the day. So yeah, man. Show us some love, and we greatly appreciate everything that y'all have already done for us. Man. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. For if it weren't for y'all, it wouldn't be us. Play us out.
Log in to KofiPiesieTV.com and get Spears of the Mossi Volume 1 by Kofi Piesie Research Team, from Spears the Pen Volume 2 by Kofi Piesie Research Team, Spiritual Combat Volume 3 by Kofi Piesie Research Team, One Night Before Bed by any Herit Shawn Khalfani, Kalawa's Trip to the Motherland by Kofi Piesie, From Cocaine to Consciousness by any Herit Shawn Khalfani, As I Learned, We All Learn by Kofi Piesie. Also, if you want fresh merch, go to our online store, family. Connect Apparel and get all the brands. Also, get our 54 deck of quiz and educational cards available now on Kofi Piesie TV.